Lisa, listen to this excerpt from the novel. She shifts, adjusting the saddlebags, making sure the mule is balanced as they pick their way down towards the creek. Hot molasses in your supper. Might even have some myself. 4 more miles, she thinks, wishing she had eaten more breakfast. Past the Indian escarpment, up the yellow pine track, 2 more hollers, and old Nancy will appear, singing hymns as she always does, her clear, strong voice echoing through the forest as she walks, arms swinging like a child's. To meet her, "You don't have to walk 5 miles to meet me," she tells the woman, "every fortnight. That's our job. That's why we're on horseback." "Oh, you girls do enough." She knows the real reason. Nancy, like her bedbound sister, Jean, back in the tiny log cabin at Red Lick, cannot countenance even a chance that she will miss the next tranche of stories. She's 64 years old, with 3 good teeth and a sucker for a handsome cowboy. That Mac McGuire, he makes my heart flutter like a clean sheet on a long line. She clasps her hands and lifts her eyes to heaven. The way Archer writes him, well, it's like he steps right out of the pages in that book and swings me onto his horse with him. She leans forward conspiratorially. "Ain't just that horse I'd be happy riding. My husband said I had quite the seat when I was a girl."
Hi, I just read this passage. Can you help me understand what is happening?
Sure. The story is about a woman traveling through a forest on a mule. She is carrying books and stories to people who live in remote areas.
I noticed the sentence, "she shifts, adjusting the saddlebags." What are saddlebags?
Saddlebags are bags attached to the sides of a horse or mule. People use them to carry supplies, food, or books.
And what does mule mean?
A mule is an animal similar to a horse. It is often used to carry people or heavy loads, especially in mountainous areas.
I see. The woman says, "hot molasses in your supper." What is molasses?
Molasses is a thick, dark, sweet syrup made from sugar cane or sugar beets. It was a common ingredient in traditional cooking.
The text says 4 more miles, she thinks. Why is she thinking about the distance?
Because she is tired. She even wishes she had eaten a bigger breakfast before starting her journey.
There's a phrase, Indian escarpment. What is an escarpment?
An escarpment is a long, steep cliff or ridge of land. It creates a dramatic change in elevation.
The text also mentions yellow pine track. What does track mean here?
In this context, a track is a narrow path or trail through the forest.
I found the word hollers difficult.
That's a great question. A holler is a rural American word for a small valley between hills or mountains.
Then we meet someone named Nancy. Who is she?
Nancy is an elderly woman who eagerly waits for the traveling librarian. She loves reading stories and never wants to miss a new book.
Why does Nancy walk 5 miles to meet her?
Officially, she says the librarians already work hard enough, but the narrator knows the real reason. Nancy is excited to get the latest stories as soon as possible.
The text says Nancy's voice is echoing through the forest. What does echoing mean?
It means the sound bounces back from trees, hills, or other surfaces, making it seem louder and more widespread.
I like the description, arms swinging like a child's.
Yes, that simile shows Nancy's joy and excitement. Even though she is 64 years old, she behaves like an enthusiastic child when she's about to receive new books. The passage mentions Nancy has 3 good teeth. Why is that detail included? It emphasizes her age and humble living conditions. It also adds a touch of humor to her character.
Then it says she is a sucker for a handsome cowboy. What does a sucker for mean?
It means someone is easily attracted to or charmed by something. Nancy loves stories about handsome cowboys.
Who is Mac McGuire?
He is a fictional cowboy character in one of the books Nancy reads.
Nancy says, "He makes my heart flutter." What does that expression mean?
It means he makes her feel excited, romantic, or emotionally moved.
And what about flutter like a clean sheet on a long line?
That's a comparison. A sheet hanging on a clothesline moves gently in the wind. Nancy uses this image to describe how excited her heart feels.
The text also says the way Archer writes him. Who is Archer?
Archer is probably the author of the books Nancy enjoys reading.
What does steps right out of the pages mean?
It means the character feels so realistic that Nancy can almost imagine him becoming a real person.
I didn't understand the word conspiratorially.
It means speaking as if sharing a secret with someone.
Finally, Nancy says, "Ain't just that horse I'd be happy riding." Why is that funny?
It's a humorous joke. Nancy is suggesting that she is attracted to the cowboy himself, not just interested in riding the horse. It shows that despite her age, she still has a playful personality.
So what is the main idea of the passage?
The passage shows the importance of books in isolated communities. It also introduces Nancy, a lively and humorous woman whose love of stories brings excitement and happiness to her life. Through her character, we see how powerful reading can be, even for people living far from towns and cities.
Thanks. Now I understand both the story and the difficult vocabulary much better.
You're welcome. This passage is a wonderful example of how literature can bring people joy, imagination, and companionship.